Without further ado, the first session of Stream 1, it is my very great pleasure to announce the CPI Challenges for Industry Landscape Review, delivered by Simon Hart, the head of Digital Twins and Cyberphysical Infrastructure for Innovate UK. Let's give him a big round of applause, please.
Thank you, Henry. Really good to see everybody here today. Actually, this is a really huge turnout for a digital twin event. So I think that's a really, really good indicator of where we are as a sector, as an industry. Very, very encouraging, and also good to see all the SMEs as well. There's a lot of smaller companies here. That's our territory. We really like to see that. So fantastic to see. So what I want to do today is just give you a quick run through of some of the things that we've been doing around cyber-physical infrastructure, to give you an overview of some of the landscape that we have. I want to try to save as much time for Q&A as possible, because actually, I think that's probably a little bit more interesting. But of course, I believe the slides are going to be available, so anything you need to find out, you can find out afterwards if you need to. So my name is Simon Hart, so I'm a head of cyber-physical and digital twins at Innovate UK. I've actually been with Innovate UK since 2014. Originally around construction and built environment, and then moving through to what became BIM, and then through Digital Built Britain, Centre of Digital Built Britain, and then I've moved more centrally to digital and technologies, where we're looking at cyber-physical as an overarching technology or sector agnostic, but obviously we are impacting many, many different sectors. So the attempt now is to try to bring all those together right the way across from manufacturing, from construction, through net zero, through energy distribution, and much, much further and beyond. For those of you who don't know Innovate UK, we are UK Government Innovation Agency. We're part of UKRI, UK Research and Innovation. That's an organisation that is set up to support research and innovation in the UK, right the way from very early fundamental academic research all the way through to commercialising and establishing and turning that research output into commercial growth, into jobs, and into exports for UK SMEs, as scale-ups and startups. So we like to see businesses growing. It is the DNA of what Innovate UK does. So for those of you who know UKRI, the wider organisation, most of the UKRI, majority of UKRI tends to focus on the research angle. So they're focusing into academic research. What Innovate UK tries to do is to take that and make it into commercial reality. So if you're looking for an organisation that has got a great idea, they're maybe two people with just come out of university, they've done some fantastic research, they want to turn it into a commercial product, a commercial service. That's what Innovate is there to do, is to help them across that journey, right the way from starting up all the way through to growing their business. And some of the stats we have on the screen there, I think the one I most like, I don't remember this from a long time ago, and it's still consistently measured now, is the 7-to-1 return. So this is taxpayers' money, right? So this is, for every £1 we put in, we get £7 back to the UK economy, and it's consistently stayed like that most of the time I've been with Innovate. Very quickly, just across the whole organisation, it's kind of helpful to show you where we sit in terms of the wider government organisation. So you can see my arrow right down at the bottom there. So Innovate UK, which is part of UKRI, which is part of DSIT, Department for Science, Innovation and Technology, reporting into Treasury. So that's the kind of structure of the organisation. I've got some colleagues here today from Innovate KTN, and also from the research councils as well. My colleague from EPSRC are doing a presentation at this moment in one of the other streams. Please don't leave this one. This is the best one. But yeah, they're doing a presentation in that with some announcements as well. Innovate has a very wide presence across the whole of the UK. So this is, if you are a business in the UK and you've not connected with us, well, you're here at a Catapult, which is funded and through UKRI and through the organisation, there is a lot more to get involved in. And particularly in something like digital twins, we really, really want to see that happen. I think we've been underrepresented historically, so there's a lot of potential there to engage with us. Now, I hope most of you are aware of this consultation. Yes, everyone's nodding, yeah. Yeah, for the live stream, everyone's nodding. Yeah, everyone's nodding there. Yeah, actually, it was a really fantastic response to this. So this was run by colleagues at DCIT, Rivers there in the front row, and a really, really positive response, wide-ranging response to the consultation on cyber-physical infrastructure. And what I want to do is just to go over. You can read this online, so this is now published. But there's a couple of key themes that emerged out that I think are relevant to businesses and to the Catapult side, and also to particularly for the SME community as well. Just widely, though, cyber-physical infrastructure is a, I would say, it's a name given to a wide range of critical infrastructure sectors, data infrastructure, that is brought together as an area of focus for government, because it was realised that it is absolutely essential to a lot of the economic growth, particularly in some of the new and emerging sectors like AI, but it's something that needs a strong focus to help develop. And where this is relevant for us is that we have an opportunity as a community here to focus on things like data interoperability that was really highly noted within the consultation. Data interoperability, skills, particularly skills for and reskilling within industries, to be able to help to turn some of these ideas into commercialization. If you are interested in finding out a little bit more about where some of the opportunities are, there is a new innovation hub that's been set up. It's very easy to find. It's Google Innovation Hub, you'll find it. You can go and have a look on there to see what some of the wide range of support that is available for our community. When we were looking at cyber-physical infrastructure at the end of last year, there was a clear need to help the sector to identify where it can find its support. And what we did as Innovate, as part of that, was to set up 6 projects that were developing capability in cyber-physical infrastructure. And they were at 6 different Catapult centres. You're here today in one of the Catapult centres for Connected Places. There are 5 others that received funding through this to set up the capability. Those include satellite applications, high-value manufacturing, the energy systems catapult, digital catapult, and the offshore renewable energy catapult. I believe there are representatives from those catapults here today. But what the idea of that was to do was for each of those catapults to go out and identify within their sectors, within their specializations, where the opportunities were and where some of the barriers were, particularly for the SME communities. Those have been developed into 6 projects and 6 capabilities that are there to catalyze some of this activity that we have. But it's not just the Innovate work that's been happening. EPSRC, one of the academic research councils, they have announced that there is the winners of the Network Plus competition that ran earlier this year. The Network Plus it's a 5-year investment led by Professor David Wagg from the Alan Turing Institute. Now that's really exciting, because I don't believe we've had that scale of expertise and focus on cyber-physical and digital twins. That's the first time that I know of that this has been done. Now, a Network Plus is a really great opportunity to bring together the academic research community. And of course, that's where the power for a lot of the ideas for commercial products can come from. Now, we've not done that before. That's the purpose of this Network Plus, is to set that up. And to do that, what we also want to encourage is for businesses to get involved with that as well, to go and find out where the expertise is, to go and see what's happening, to go and learn where some of those problems may have been solved already by the academic community. So please go and get involved with those. There's also been the announcement earlier around digital twinning for decarbonisation of transport. That's a further research project. Professor Phil Greening, Professor David Flynn, taking that project forward within transport. And it's not just the physical side, the engineering physical side, it's also natural environment. Colleagues here also have been establishing work within the energy industry. So this is another project, a prosperity partnership, focusing on the energy sector. And there's going to be opportunities to be able to engage with that through the Network Plus or directly with those organisations. And within natural environment as well. So this is not just, we don't just focus on the manufacturing, the engineering or the energy. This is also within natural environment. So NERC, the Natural Environment Research Council, have funded a wide range of projects looking at environmental data and environmental digital twins. And there's some really fantastic work going at the National Oceanography Centre with the Met Office, looking at information management frameworks. So some of you who've been within the digital twin space for some time will know about information management frameworks from the Gemini principles. This is looking to see how that can be implemented within natural environment data. And of course, there are other aspects to this as well, which is some of the computing power that can be put behind digital twinning and processing of data, and some of that can be done at Daphne, which is a digital research infrastructure project, and they have a Daphne conference happening in September this year. Go and get involved in that if you want to learn a little bit more about how to use some of the processing capability that Daphne has. And get involved, okay? So this is very new. This was announced Monday, I think, 19th July. It's 19th June. So this has just gone out. You can find this on the UKRI website. There is a call out to the public for ideas for moonshots, funded moonshots, project ideas that can help to accelerate capability, R&D capability in the UK. That could be around digital twins. It could be around cyberphysical. It could be data interoperability. It could be around digital skills. But we want to hear from you. So we need, if you have identified some of these areas, some of these gaps, either from trying to do business in the UK, internationally, or if you are at an earlier stage within research and you found something that you think really needs to be tackled, please come and tell us about it. It's a really simple application. It's not like one of the Innovate UK applications that's 10 questions. Okay, it's a really simple application. Just put your ideas in, please. We really want to hear about it. I think it's going to be great to be able to build up that capability, and in particular to be able to connect the community that's built here with some of the other communities that have developed, particularly around the AI programs, so Bridge AI, and some of the other programs that have been developing across the data space. And beyond that as well, there's a very large amount of research infrastructure capability that the UK owns, right? So this is funded by UKRI, but we're talking about things like high-performance computing systems, the development of exascale. There is a very large amount of research infrastructure that people can tap into, and one of the things we're exploring is how we can get not just the academic community using some of that compute power. So how do we get SMEs access to some of that real expertise that can drive those innovations forward? I think that's all the slides I have. Open to questions. Henry, I think you're going to chair this.
I sure am, but
Thank you.
we should be able to see online as well with the power of the internet. So it's really exciting, Simon, to see some of those great bits of work that we've been doing. I think there's a lot of people out there who really have great ideas that they want to share with the world. So I think my question to you is where does it end? Like, there's so much that could be done. Like, what is the vision for the UK in kind of 5 or 10 years' time?
So, really good question. What I would recommend going and having a look at the Cyberphysical infrastructure consultation, because that actually captures a lot of the information that was submitted and detailed by the UK community. I think the vision that is set out within that, that was set out for Cyberphysical, has built upon a number of other previous directions of travel, even policy that was put in place. Some of you will be very aware of the work that was done by Centre of Digital Built Britain. That focused particularly around the built environment, and was a legacy that came out of the UK BIM programme, which was around digitising construction data. But it's gone way further than that. I think we have a real direction of travel around within the energy sector, within digitising energy data, to improve how we measure, how we distribute, how we consume energy. Within manufacturing, within the manufacturing sector, there are decades to learn from the manufacturing sector. I came out of the manufacturing sector a long time ago. But the modelling and simulation that was done there through product lifecycle management is analogous to where digital twins has some focus. High value manufacturing, Catapult have been doing some great work around the Apollo protocol. The Apollo protocol is something that can really be helped to capture some of that together. So I think one of the things that would be important is don't repeat what's been done already. It's really there is a bit of a challenge that we can often end up duplicating work that's already been done, and I don't want to see that happen. So if new funding is going to go into this, let's not go and do the same things that we've already done or did 4 or 5 years ago.
Excellent. So we have a couple more questions that have come in. 6 minutes ago, Mike at EMR asks, can companies developing low carbon materials for the built environment get grants to develop their digital twins?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, there you go, Mike.
The place to go and look is the Innovation Hub, or the UKRI website. There is a wide range of grant funding competitions that are available. Go and see what's available. If you can't see something that is applicable to you, come and talk to Innovate UK. Come and talk to Innovate UK KTN, the Knowledge Transfer Network. Come to the events. Right, this is really important for SMEs in particular. You could fill your entire week with free events that is run by Catapult, KTN, Innovate. There are literally hundreds of them up and down the country. Go along to those in the subjects you're interested in, and you will learn what the future competitions, what the future grant opportunities are going to be. Don't just sit there waiting, scrolling and refreshing to see if something's going to come through. Go and find out, go and be proactive.
Yeah, and they're very welcoming. They want to hear from you and they want to meet you because it's literally their job. So we have one more question so far. Which category in the Moonshot call do connected digital twins fit in? That's
good question.
Somebody who's actively looking at it right now.
Good question. Pass. I've only been back since Monday from a couple of months off, unfortunately. I don't know. I would have to come back and probably answer that one a bit later.
Okay, no worries. We do have another question about the new Innovation Hub and details of that. We will be sure to share that online and in the chat so that everyone will have access to that, so we'll deal with that. 2 more are popping in, and we've got 2 minutes left on
Fantastic.
our clock here, so we're going to take these. So Innovate UK have, I hope this is a question. I don't see a question mark. I don't see a question, but we'll see how we go. Innovate UK have completed many connected and automated vehicle trials. What, if any, is the plan for developing digital twins around connected vehicles and connected networks to understand cyber risks?
Fantastic,
Question
really good
mark.
question. So my team work very closely with the Innovate Transport team because they are hitting exactly the same challenges that other sectors have seen before around data interoperability, cybersecurity, and yes, you're right, there is a lot of funding has gone out to some really great projects. The challenge for internally for Innovate and for the community is try and bring all those together with some of this type of activity. Yeah. So yeah, we're on it.
Definitely connecting those dots. Some might say it's very exciting what's going on. So somebody's asking here if there are maritime grants for bathymetry. I stood too close to that speaker for a second there. I'm assuming that's through NERC that they would need to be looking for that, because you showed some slides there earlier about the oceanography work.
Yes, so it depends on what the organisation is, if it's an academic organisation or a business. If it's academic, then yes, absolutely NERC would be good people to talk to. If it's a business, I would say actually probably talking to NERC, go and see what collaboration there is. But I know there has been a decent amount of competitions on maritime fairly recently. Apologies, I'm a little bit rusty on them, but come and reach out if you can't find what you need through Innovate.
So I'm going to leave on this last one. How do we enable inclusive involvement and allow fair access to funding for everyone?
Fantastic, yeah. So Innovate has got a really strong focus on the diversity of inputs to the competitions on applications. We really need to find where to include as many people as possible, because actually we are short of skills, we are short of the right places and the right people to get involved in this. So absolutely, there is a very strong push for diversity and inclusion onto all of the competitions now, and I think it's a really fantastic thing.
Excellent, thank you so much.